Hi, LowCountry. Pastor Jeff here. Sure do miss you, but thanks for spending a few moments with me like this. And as I have been doing, I want to begin with a joke or two. And my jokes apparently are having quite an impact. I've heard no comments whatsoever, not an email, not a direct message, not a text, nothing on these jokes. So, and that's not me asking for comments, all right? I totally get it. But I just want to do something that maybe you give you a little bit of a smile today and throughout all of this that we are experiencing. Two little stories about a guy named Johnny, and Johnny's just a little guy. Picture him about second or third grade. And Johnny's, these are both kind of church jokes. So Johnny's in Sunday school, kids ministry, you know, and that particular day, they are being taught, the children are, about creation and specifically about Adam and Eve. And as the teacher was explaining that Eve was fashioned and formed out of Adam's rib, at one of Adam's ribs, Johnny, he's really leaning in. I mean, he was very intently listening to this, taking it all quite in. So a few days later at home, this is in the summertime, he's not at school and he's playing and his mother doesn't hear him. And moms and dads, you know, when the children grow very quiet, that's usually a sign of danger. So his mom runs upstairs and she finds Johnny lying on the bed on his side. And she says, Johnny, are you all right? He said, well, I've had such a pain in my side. I think I'm going to have a wife. I like that. And then Johnny's got his little buddy, and they're at church one of the Sundays, and the teacher was teaching on hell and on Satan, and the teacher that day was really pulling no punches and really telling the kids all about Satan. And so on their way, after church was over, on their way out to their cars in the parking lot with their families, Johnny's little friend says to him, well, hey, what'd you think about all that Satan stuff? And Johnny says, well, you know, it's, I think maybe like Santa Claus. At the end, we're probably just going to find out it's Dad. Oh my, well anyway, there you go. Hey, I want to say thank you for last weekend. Thanks for watching, thanks for inviting. I want to say again, thank you to our production and tech teams and our worship teams and all the people who helped make that possible. It was a wonderful Sunday. We had around 8,000 people who viewed our services, and 25 people that we know about indicated to us online that they prayed to receive Christ as their Lord and Savior. And so that's why we do what we do. That is just an awesome thing. And so thank you also for praying for that to happen, and for, as the gospel went out, for the clarity of that. We really think God answered prayers, and we thank God for all that he has done and he'll continue to do. I'm sure this week more people have watched it as well. This Sunday we begin a brand new teaching series, and I'm glad to be able to preach inside again. If you looked out at watched the sermon last Sunday, I was standing out on the banks of the Okatee River. And of course, we were shooting at dawn, and to get everything right, we had to go out on Sunday. We went out three mornings in a row, and finally captured it. But if you ever thought to yourself, I wonder if the no-see-ums are bothering him? Yes, they about carried me away, but we got through it. Anyway, we're beginning a new series this Sunday, and it'll last for 3 weeks, Lord willing. We're calling it Conversations with Jesus. And we're looking at 3 various conversations that Jesus had with people after his resurrection, but before his ascension. And it's fascinating, very, very interesting. And this Sunday, I'll be teaching out of Luke 24, Jesus having conversation with his disciples who were understandably freaked out about everything that they had just experienced. And now here he is, resurrected Jesus, standing in front of them. And one of the things that we see come out of that is the first words Jesus says to them when he appears in front of them, 4 words: peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. We need that right now, don't we? We're seeing people with a real lack of peace. We're feeling a real lack of peace, maybe in our own lives. And I just want to encourage you to not let this pandemic thing get your goat. Get your goat. What a phrase. Why do we say that? Well, you'll be glad to know I looked it up. And the phrase "get your goat" really means when you allow somebody to shake you, to get you off of your game, to upset you a little bit, to allow you to push you a little bit out of control. Where did the phrase come from? Well, back in the day, in the early days here in our country of horse racing, if they had a good horse, but the horse could be a little skittish, a little bit nervous, the horse tended to act up a little bit or act out a little bit, they would oftentimes stable a goat in with the horse. And the goat would be a calming, steadying influence on the horse and keep the horse calmer. Well, if that was a fast horse, what would often happen is the opponents would sneak into the stables and they'd steal the goat, thus ensuring that the horse on race day was going to be a little bit more skittish, a little bit more nervous, anything they could do to get an upper hand. And so when they went in and got the goat, then the horse would maybe have some issues. Well, don't allow this pandemic to get your goat and get you off of your game. Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you, not as the world gives." And that's the peace that we want. And that's the peace that we need. You know, the Bible word for peace is shalom, the Hebrew word. You've heard of that word. Now, when you and I tend to think of peace, we tend to view it only as the absence of conflict. But the biblical definition, the shalom sense of peace, means not only an absence of conflict, but a sense of wholeness, a sense of total well-being, a sense of the fact that God is sovereign and God is in control. And that brings to the fiber of my being a peace. So I pray in these days of lockdown, these days of pandemic, that you will know, experience, sense, feel the peace of God. There's a lot of things attacking the peace that we have in our hearts right now, right? Finances, job, lack of job, stress and strain. Now, marriages are under a little bit of a different strain. Parent-child relationships under a little bit different strain. I just want you to know I'm praying. Your church staff and ministers are praying that you will know the very peace of God. There's a Bible verse, Isaiah 26:3, which basically says, "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, God, because he trusts in you." So when my trust is in him, he keeps my mind at peace. So place your trust in him today. Hold on to that. He is God. He is able. He will get us through this. He will give us all we need. He's never let us down, and he won't. So let me just leave you with that today. Don't let circumstances get your goat. Trust in God. Receive his peace. Let me remind you of a couple of things real quick. Red Cross blood drive today. If you're watching this on Thursdays today, please pray for that. Pray for those donating blood. Pray for those who will receive it. We're low in our country, in our county right now, in our region. Blood supplies are low. So this is a wonderful thing that we're doing. Over 50 people are donating blood today. We may do that again in the next couple of weeks. We'll let you know. Also, want to inform you that this coming Sunday, we're beginning a podcast. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. We're calling it Kitchen Table Theology. I am always concerned about the lack of biblical knowledge and understanding that I see, not only in our culture, but many times in our churches. And good theology needs to exist, if for no other reason than because bad theology exists. So I've been wanting to find a venue, an avenue, where I could teach theology and doctrine in a very understandable way, to put the cookies on the bottom shelf. And so we've started a podcast called Kitchen Table Theology. Kitchen Table Theology. Starting Sunday, you can go on wherever you listen to podcasts, whatever platform, and search for Kitchen Table Theology, and we should pop right up. I'm doing this with Jen Denton. Jen's one of the vocalists on our worship team at LowCountry Community Church, and we've recorded a few already. We've had a great time doing it, but it's my hope, my heart, that it will help you. We're just going to systematically study the things of God, just as if you and I were seated at your kitchen table or my kitchen table with a cup of Southern Pecan coffee and talking about the things of God. So this Sunday, give that a search, and we're starting. We'll add a podcast a week, and we've got a whole plan, a whole series of what we're going to be teaching and what we're going to be discussing. So I hope that will be helpful to you. I'm doing it for you. So let your friends know about it. Share about it on social media if you'd like. After you listen a time or two, please give us a review. Like us. That'll help us get the word out to more and more people. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. God bless you. Love you, miss you, and look forward to seeing you sometime, hopefully in person, sooner rather than later. Take care.